Hey guys, and welcome to Simply Exposed podcast with Haley and Sophie. Take a listen as we share some of our favorite memories and our struggles as we navigate through life.
As always, thanks for listening in, and do not forget to give us a follow. Remember, be a voice, not an echo. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 31, Attachment Styles. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Haley.
And we're kind of just going to jump right in. I mean, attachment styles, like everybody has one, but you have to figure out, what one you are.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a bunch of like quizzes that we found all over Google. I found one and then I was like, Haley, take this. And I sent it to her. My personal attachment style is anxious. Haley's is also anxious. So we can relate that way.
We are actually alike in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Like since we've done the pod, we've found out that we are very much alike.
Yeah. And that's why we butt heads. But
no, you don't say.
So we found out through this quiz that there's 4 different attachment styles. Mm-hmm. There's anxious, avoidant, disorganized or fearful avoidant, mm-hmm. and secure. Boy, do I wish I was fucking secure, because your bitch is not, okay? Anxious as shit. So
we've actually... So Sophie found some stuff today that this all pretty much goes down with how you grew up in your childhood.
Yeah, and that's what...
Who raised you? Yeah. Who was in your household?
And how you were treated and how love was conveyed across the board. That's what dictates you to an attachment style, is how you were raised and how love was shown and to be found.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what shapes you for what attachment style you are. I mean, there's a lot of things that can change it, obviously, over time, but that's the main thing, is from how you grew up.
Yeah. Why don't we start on the ones that we're not?
Okay. Yeah. So secure attachment style is you're comfortable with closeness and being, independent in relationships, and, you're not really like the jealous type, you're not one to like have a location or, like worry about those types of things. Like you're just not a worrier. Like you're secure, you're secure in yourself. Like, okay, yeah, I'm not worried about my partner cheating or leaving. You're just okay, and you're content, and you don't have those fears, or like you're not striving to be even closer or even more independent. You're just secure with where you are.
And these are going to be the people that had families growing up who the mom and dad were very close all the time.
Yes,
and
yeah.
They communicated very well, and I don't know. They were close.
Yeah,
like, they were very secure.
Like even love to if you had more siblings. Like it was all even across the board. There wasn't favoritism towards one child. It was very much clear that you were loved all equally, and you guys were all given what you needed, and there wasn't just one kid getting more than everybody else.
So the next one is going to be disorganized or fearful avoidant attachment style. You want and you fear like the closeness.
Yeah, like it's very hard for you to get close to somebody in fear of
being let down
or just getting too close, opening up, that fear of somebody abandoning you. That can go hand in hand with just, having abandonment issues.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty common attachment style if you already experience those.
This is also like a fear of someone leaving you after you become open as well.
Yes. Like, when you finally are comfortable enough with someone that you like are taking down your wall and like opening yourself up and being like true to you and not being like so weary of who you actually are in front of this person, and then you're scared of that happening because you don't want them to leave after the fact.
And it can also be that you're trying to be something different as well. Like And this does, I mean, this is, I feel like part of being in a secure attachment too, is where you're trying to be an attachment that you are not.
Yes.
Because you are worried and you fear that they are going to leave you.
Yeah. So you can try and act like you're secure. Like there's a lot of different techniques that you use to try and keep that relationship at, a level that you're not as worried. Like you can feel that like amount of love, but you don't want to get too close because of that fear of leaving.
So I feel like deep down, and I felt this way too, and I'm sure you have in a sort of way, is when you are alone with your thoughts, that is like the most truthful part of your life. And that's really hard.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
when you're by yourself, or actually Sophie and I have been trying to go to the gym, like when we're at the gym, like by myself,
Yeah.
it's like, damn, that's actually how I feel about a situation or
Yeah.
whatever it is. But I feel like those are sometimes the most truthful, or when you're not in your right mind of
Yeah.
drunkenness potential.
So the other attachment style is avoidant. This is where you want more space in your relationships. I've found, because I've been in numerous relationships with the avoidant attachments, they are very independent and they struggle with showing how they feel, struggle with showing emotion, struggle with showing you the love that you need or, anybody deserves to have. They're very hard to communicate with because they want more space. They want to be alone. They value their own space, which that's fine. I mean, to a point, like that's healthy, to want to have your own space, but
like usually relationships are supposed to be one.
yes.
Like at some point you bring in your own independence and you also bring in togetherness.
Yeah. I mean, you're binding together in a one love situation, and a lot of avoidants don't think that way. They're like, okay, I'm me, you're you. Yeah, we love each other, but there's nothing about us being one.
Yeah.
They're very different that way.
This can also be like they push you away a lot of times.
Yes. Yes.
And that's actually probably what people will see this as, is when you're being pushed away. And these people will also tell you one thing and then do the opposite.
Yes. Yep. And then these are also the people that also, we're not trying to shit on anybody, by the way, but these are also
because a lot of these things though are things that you grew up with.
Yeah.
And they're hard to change. Like if you're listening to our podcast, you probably are in a situation where you want to change in some way.
Yeah.
So like for Sophie and I feel, sorry to go on a tangent, but like our podcast is for those people to realize, oh, I might have this attachment style and how can I change it to be better?
Yeah.
And that's what the podcast is all about.
I mean, everybody like strives to be secure. I mean, that's like the end goal. But anyway, what I was saying is avoidant. Those are typically the people that if you're in like, a spiff or in a fight or in like an argument, these are the people that will immediately shut down or use everything that they can against you. So they're pushing you away so they can get more space, or they'll immediately run to talking about breaking up, leaving. They'll, when anything gets hard, they will immediately try and leave or be like, I don't know. Yeah. Because they just want the space. Mm-hmm. But I mean, a lot of other people don't think that way. And they're like, okay, well, I want to, communicate with you and I want to be close so we can figure this out together. But as an avoidant, like, they're like, no, I want my space. Like, leave me alone. So that's, I mean.
Well, the other thing too, and people have to realize is when, like we just talked about, like when you get into a relationship, you kind of become one in a certain way. Yeah. And these avoidant type things, a lot of times they're running to their best friends or they're running to a very secure family member or that they feel secure with and talking bad about their other significant other. So there's just some things to look out for. And if you're seeing these like red flags, I guess my thing is maybe slowly bring these things up. And I don't know, it's so hard because it's you have to want to unlearn these
Yes.
things.
Yeah. And I mean, like if you're dealing with an avoidant, this is probably the hardest attachment style to deal with. If you're dealing with one and you feel like they just aren't understanding or, you know, not wanting to be better or like, no, I am the way that I am who I am. Honestly, like you're not gonna get anywhere with them until they realize that they are an avoidant and that it's not healthy to be that way.
Well, and it just takes time to change.
Oh,
from these
definitely.
things.
Well, anything takes time
Yeah.
to change. I mean, it's all part of growth and, you know, being mature and growing that way. But the first step is realizing. And I feel
Yes.
like learning my attachment style has almost like opened my eyes because I didn't realize, I guess, that I was that way. I mean, I probably could have guessed if I seen a list of them. But I mean, there's a few different things. I would have probably picked myself as either anxious or the fearful avoidant just because I do fear getting close for the reasons of being left, but that goes more with my anxious attachment style.
I'm actually surprised that I'm anxious attachment style in some ways. Like I feel like I'm kind of in between anxious and secure.
Yeah.
But I'm a very jealous person.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
So I think like that's one of the biggest things
Yeah.
that puts me in the anxious attachment style part. So anyway, before we get farther, like anxious attachment style is like you want a lot of closeness with your partner.
Yeah. So that's why so me thinking that I would possibly be a fearful avoidant, like I fear the closeness, but I want it so bad. Like it's very hard for me to like open up and be like, okay, this is who I am. Like, you know, it's hard for me to like open up and be goofy and like jam out. I'm with that. I'm like that with Haley because, you know, obviously I'm like very close with her. And I mean, we've been around each other since I was friggin' born. So, I mean, like, obviously I'm going to be open with her, but like, you know, I'm 9 months into my relationship and I'm going to be honest, I'm not completely open yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm not who I am. Like it's hard for me to like fully be myself and be goofy and, you know, just mess around because I'm scared of that closeness, in the fact of I don't want to get hurt. But I am an anxious because I want that closeness and I need to feel like my partner's love. And I need to be reassured constantly. I constantly need that reassurance. And it's really hard for me to believe somebody saying that they love me. It's very hard for me to accept that and, you know, like believe that they're being truthful and not lying, due to like my past being hurt and, you know, burned. But I just like constantly need attention, I guess, and be like, okay, I love you. Like I need to hear it first. But I also like, you know, there's so many things that I'm worried about. I'm always worried about getting cheated on. I'm always worried about getting left. And like the anxious, I mean, it's right in the attachment. I mean, the name, anxious attachment style, like your anxiety surrounding your relationship is extremely high. I already have fucking crippling anxiety.
But that's what I was going to say is it's really hard because part of the anxious attachment style, I think, is because you and I deal with having anxiety constantly, getting better because we're on medication now. But also like our depression comes into this.
Yes.
So like I've been with Zach for 9 years total and I can be myself sometimes, but like if nobody knows, Sophie and I love singing, especially in the car.
Yeah.
And we will only sing
like our whole hearts out.
Yeah, like with each other. And I will not do that with Zach. And we've been together for 9 years. Like that's insane to me. But I think a lot of it has to do with depression and anxiety, and that comes into
fear
it.
in ourselves.
But because there is times where I'm like, don't fucking look at me. Don't talk to me. I want nothing to do with you. And I don't know what that is, but I know you get that too. You get that way where you're like, I want nothing to do with you right now. I
Yeah,
need my
like when I'm
space.
crabby, yeah.
Yes.
I feel like, yeah, there's like parts of me that could technically be all of these attachment styles, but I guess I'm not like,
Not completely though.
yeah. I mean, I'm like a snippet of all of it, I guess.
I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I love my space and I love my independence, but I am the same way as you where I'm like, do you still love me?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like overly, I don't know the word even. Like I just need attention all the time. I could literally lay on my partner for 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Just to know that they're there.
Yeah.
Cuddling.
Yes, I'm a cuddle bug. I do love my
I've
cuddles.
always asked Zach, I'm like, you want to come cuddle? And
Yes.
he's like, no. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, I just snuggle my way right in. You better move the fuck over, bitch. Here I come.
No, because
Move.
Zach like will like sit and do baseball stuff or
You know, I just like as an anxious, okay, I don't get like the avoidance, I guess. Like if I see my boo sitting on the couch and I come home, I'm kicking my fucking shoes off and I'm running to the couch and I'm sitting on you. I don't get the couples that are like, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to sit here like distance apart.
I'm like that too.
I want to sit on you. Okay. I'd rather you be in me, but I'd sit on you.
By the way, most anxious people are better at sex.
Yes. Yeah. We read that fact and we heard it on a TikTok video. So, you know, TikTok's pretty truthful.
Always.
Hey, but you know what? If you watched our sex episode, I mean, you've heard the shit that we do. So that's probably not wrong.
Sophie
we
and I
do
were
be bomb.
We were literally just talking about how we need to do another fun episode like that because we had so many people coming up to us and be like, oh my God, that episode was so good.
Yes. I mean,
need to hear more.
I feel like, you know, it kind of makes sense that like the anxious style would be better at sex because, you know, they want that closeness. They're going to do anything to be that close. They're going to ride your dick like no fucking tomorrow.
Dude.
They're going to ride it like a horse. Okay.
Okay, so I don't know about you.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
I don't know about you, but I'm like Zach and I shower together. Like very little do we shower separate.
Yeah. The last time I think I showered with my man was November.
Oh my God, no.
I'd have to beg him.
Ugh. No, literally, I'm like, I'm going to go shower and he's going to be like, all right.
What the fuck without me?
Let's go. Pretty much. We literally shower all the time.
I love that for you. Honestly, slightly jealous.
Actually, y'all, I found some really good lube for shower sex.
Oh, good Lord. All right. That's not this fucking episode. Oh,
anyway.
fuck.
I don't know. Attachment styles are hard though.
They are.
And if you're like wondering where you are and what things that you could change, yeah, look it up. It's super easy. We can also, I'll put it below the video and on the description. So
yeah,
people can just click into it, which might be easier.
You know, and if you're in a relationship and like you're trying to figure out, you know, if you and your partner are having issues, like figuring out what your attachment style is and theirs is going to make a world of a difference.
Yeah.
Because then you can understand why the fuck they are the way that they are.
Well, and then talk about the parts of that attachment style because that could be where you're having the issues.
Yeah. A lot of people, like, I feel like don't take attachment styles like seriously or into consideration when it's truly how you're molded, and that literally goes into how you act in a relationship and the things that you need.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, 100%.
Totally. I mean, this has helped me, and I do see the ancient. I can't not.
Yeah, we cannot talk today. Good
the
fucking
anxious
Lord.
attachment style. I can actually see that on why, because of the way that I grew up. Because, like, my mom wanted a partner always, and like, I remember like she would be like, "No, you guys need to go away," because she wanted to hang out with her partner.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I always like craved the attention from my parent or my mom mostly. And I always felt like I was not good enough. So I do understand why I'm in that category.
Yep. Same.
And it's helped me change now
At least a little bit, like give you a move on. I mean, I was the same way. Like growing up, I had to like fight for, you know, love, and you have to do X, Y, and Z to be able to gain that. And I feel like that's how I am now. You know, I'm like showering my partner with gifts, and I'm trying to do everything I can,
Yeah,
like
I'm the same
cute,
way.
cute paragraphs, or, you know, just, I hope you have a great day at work. I love you so much. Like, can't wait to see you later. Just small things like that. Because when I was growing up, you had to do anything like possible. You had to do X, Y, and Z. You had to do
To get any attention.
yeah, or to get any, you know, form of what you'd consider love at a young age, any form of attention, any form of, you know, acknowledgement. So it's, you know, obviously shaped me.
Well, I think for people that are listening or watching right now, like your thing is go out, find what your attachment style is, and start working on those things that you're not feeling like are a positive thing for you.
Yeah, or healthy.
And it's not going to change overnight just by
No.
reading something. This is something that
You have to work on. Like you have to put forth effort to be able to change and, you know, get to where you want to be.
And in those things too, like if you're talking to your partner or someone and you're like, oh shit, that's part of that attachment style. What am I going to do better the next time we have this kind of conversation?
Yeah.
So those are how you can make those small changes. And I do think that as you start pointing those out, as you're having conversations, it becomes easier to realize and go, oh shit, I shouldn't say that before you actually say it.
Yeah,
so
definitely. You have to learn, you know, about your style first and like really do the research on it and, you know, watch videos or, you know, go on Google and look it up and try and figure out different, you know, like things that are part of your style and, you know, what's toxic and what's healthy and how you can change your toxic traits into better and, you know, getting to that secure attachment style.
Yeah. So now that we've kind of wrapped up this episode, we do want to talk a little bit about those followers that have been with us, especially through the break. If you just watched episode 30, you kind of know about why the break happened. And we are putting out a Google form and we'll have some posts about that. It's called This or That. It's a small survey. And it's like, do you want to drive a car or would you rather drive a truck? And you would choose that.
It's just a fun little
exercise.
Yep. Because we want to treat, you know, our loyal followers, the people that have been there since the beginning, and, you know, mail you guys something a little fun.
Yeah. So at the end of it, there is a little question about if Sophie and I decided to set up an event to do dinner with the people that follow us, would you be interested? Yes, no, or maybe. And then at the very end, there is a place to put your address there. You don't have to. I do it at all if you don't want to, but Sophie and I have got a few little sensory things and things for your health and to stay positive. We want to send those things out to you guys through the mail. So once we do get your addresses, we're going to start sending some things out to you just for thanking you for staying
and
here.
You know, we're very grateful for all of our listeners and followers and the people that have been there since day one and all of our new listeners and new followers. Like,
and if you think someone would enjoy the podcast, send them the damn form. We would love to send out more positivity to someone else, or if you think maybe there's a few episodes they may benefit from, be like, shit, there's free shit that they're giving out.
Yeah.
I really like them. What we got, I put one on my phone. Hint, hint. But yeah, send those and share those out, and we will be sending them out in a few weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be fun. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for listening or watching if you are, and I hope this helps a little bit with your attachment styles.
Bye.